And that's where they declare a Mr. and a Miss Morgan State. And we've got Tyrone on the phone with us now. Tyrone, when you say poker game, what exactly happened? What transpired?
Well, first we were watching, we all get together every Tuesday night, and we watch Tucker Carlson's show on X. We used to watch him on Fox News. Obviously, he's not there no more. And still being the most credible guy in the media in America, we always get together to watch Tucker Carlson, and I think he's doing probably better now that he's not with Fox News because the corporate media always controls what the teleprompter readers are able to say. And now that he doesn't have that hand.
Thank you, Tyrone. Maybe we can work to get Don back on the phone. Tracy, we can get that. Clearly, that was not a student at Morgan State University.
I bet the Fox News executives really hated that moment, and therefore they made it that much sweeter for everyone else. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name's Luke here of wearechange.org, and there's a lot of absolutely crazy, wild, and bewildering news to get into today, as, of course, our cities are getting worse off than ever, as, of course, violence, crime, theft, and robbery are all up, as, of course, the government now is testing their latest and greatest national emergency alert broadcast. Why are they doing this? What's going on in our country? Why is there such political disarray? Well, I think a lot of it is done on purpose. We're going to be talking about that, plus all the latest news happening today on this independent media broadcast. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you could get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. And the clip we played in the beginning of this broadcast is, of course, from Fox News, where online commentator and social media troll, the one and only Mark Dice, called into Fox News pretending to be an eyewitness towards a breaking news event, and then used that opportunity to bring up some very important points that Fox News has been trying to censor from the general public after their ousting of the #1 news anchor in all of America. This, as of course, there's also a lot of reports of Fox News employees being prevented from even mentioning Tucker Carlson's name, and now it was broadcast to all of their viewers because of the great work by Mark Dice. Definitely go check him out on his YouTube channel, which we are going to be linking down in the description below, as of course we go back a long time, and you can probably see a lot of really funny videos that me and Mark Dice did here on this YouTube channel. You know what? I'm just going to link some of the collaborations we had with Mark Dice, which are absolutely hilarious, also here in the description. Definitely worth a watch. They will definitely make you laugh, which, of course, a lot of people need right now since, of course, the situation in the United States is getting more and more difficult for the average citizen, as now there's a viral video going around highlighting the huge price increases that people are dealing with at the grocery stores just a few months ago that are dramatically destroying the cost of living as everyday items keep dramatically going up in price. All of this as, of course, Kevin McCarthy, the former Speaker of the House, allowed the Biden administration to have an unlimited debt ceiling, as the U.S. government is literally printing and borrowing money out of thin air, handing it over to their corporate buddies in huge industries that have corrupted the U.S. House of Representatives, while politicians sell you down the road for Koch brother initiatives and plans that, of course, replace the local population, increase the price of housing, lower the cost of labor. This as today, the mayor of New York City is visiting Latin America, trying to tell the people there, please don't come to New York City. Hey, even though I'm the same mayor that said we're a sanctuary city, even though I'm the same mayor that said, hey, come on in, guys. Now, please don't. This, as many Democrats are still calling for more open borders, leaving many urban areas in absolute bedlam and devastation, as New York City has also resorted to the tactic of giving out flyers saying, hey, welcome to America, but just not New York City. We're a sanctuary city no more, as many of our politicians keep calling for more of you guys to come over. Yeah. For some reason, I think this speaking tour in Mexico, Ecuador, and Colombia, and these flyers aren't going to be changing anything. As of course, it is Democratic policies and initiatives that have created this situation, as well as NGOs and other organizations connected to billionaires and government officials that have and are continuing to worsen the problem that many people especially in places like New York City, are facing every single day. As of course, immigration increases poverty, not just with the population that's introduced, but also to the local population living in the area. Jobs become more sparse, housing becomes less available. Add that to inflation, add that to woke district attorneys that of course have been allowing criminals to run loose on the city without any repercussions for their actions, and you have a recipe of disaster that many people say led to the death of Ryan Carson, a 32-year-old left-wing activist that sadly lost his life after being attacked 4 o'clock in the morning by a suspect that is still running loose. A suspect that the city has not yet caught. And let's be honest here, the city is spending a lot of resources prosecuting, going after the former president of the United States, which of course they have their eyes on as a target. Other criminals that, of course, lead to tremendous human suffering are just not a major priority for the city right now, as, of course, senseless acts of violence seem to be becoming the new norm, partly because they are highlighted on social media, as we keep hearing about story after story of just insane incidences like this one in North Carolina where a Taco Bell worker was left hanging on to his life because a customer thought that he was given the wrong amount of change when he wasn't. And again, I could go after incident, as some people are left asking themselves, is this a true representation of what's happening there, or just an example of sensationalistic, hyperbolic news coverage? And personally, I would say from my experiences living previously in New York City, seeing what's going on there, having friends that I'm talking to there right now, I think it's important to think about all possibilities and hypotheses here, but more importantly, as now everyone's talking about this particular case with Ryan Carson, I think it is important to note here that there is a connection with a lot of the very leftist liberal policies that have been instituted and called for by such activists that, in my opinion, are correlated to this entire incident that, of course, is ruining the lives not just only for the family of individuals like Ryan Carson, but for everyone else living in that city that has to worry about themselves, their own personal well-being and safety, as, of course, the city there goes after political opponents, goes after individuals who, of course, defend themselves, and has a horrible track record of releasing criminals on the streets of New York City, all in the name of equity, justice, and Black Lives Matter, that all these activists cheer on, essentially cheering on the demise of their city and themselves. And what did these cities do? They entrenched themselves with more horrible fiscal, social, and economic policies that, of course, are devastating to blue-collar, everyday Joes that, of course, have to deal with the repercussions of a state intervening in their life, like in Chicago, which many people now call Chirac, where now people are banned from tipping staff of restaurants. Yeah, that's going to really help people here, as, of course, the price of food is expected to go up. A lot of servers and wait staff that usually had a lot of money coming in from their service, that's all gone now, as of course it's going to be tightly taxed and regulated by the state that's going to be enforcing $15.80 an hour for their wages, which of course they're going to be conveniently taking out a huge portion of taxes from for their own personal benefit. They couldn't do that with tips, and I think this is the true reason why the state keeps intervening in everyone's life, in my opinion, to make it absolutely miserable. But hey, that's just my perspective and opinion, and that's why I share a lot of strategies on how not to be affected by the state on LukeUnfiltered.com, where, of course, we are going to be doing a very special video right after this broadcast highlighting some very funny, but also some issues that we cannot discuss here on this particular platform. That larger conversation about how not to be affected by the state, how to be free, how to be healthy, how to be happy, is all going to be on LukeUnfiltered.com right after this video. We have almost 10 years of videos, exclusive videos that no one else saw on this particular broadcast, 3 masterclasses, a forum, a members-only store, contest, giveaways, and an in-real-life meetup that we are doing this Sunday, 4 p.m., October 8th, here in Southern Florida, only for members. It's going to be a hangout area. There's going to be a very special guest arriving that you guys will be able to meet. We'll be able to hang out. All that available for people who click the link right now in the description below. Once you click that link, you click right here. Join for $15. Once you do it, put in your information. It's quick, it's easy, it's simple, and I will see you there right after this broadcast, as of course we are still not done here, as we have a lot of other crazy things to talk about in our current political sphere, as of course the continued prosecution of the former president of the United States is still continuing in New York City, as Donald Trump just made a second appearance in a Manhattan court for the second day of the trial that's going up against him and his larger business enterprise that New York City looks to undermine and destroy. As of course, this is a particular case with no victim at all, but the state deciding that they, of course, will try to prosecute and punish someone who, of course, has aspirations to become the future president of the United States. This, as now the judge in that case is attacking Donald Trump on his social media posts, specifically now gagging him from talking about this particular case and posting about it on social media. Also specifically demanding that he delete a post that he made on Truth Social, this one specifically that's on screen right now, highlighting how allegedly Schumer's girlfriend, someone close to the Democratic congressman who is actually running the case against him and is the principal law clerk in this case, specifically talking about Allison R. Greenfield, who was seen here with Chuck Schumer, which a lot of people are pointing to the fact is a clear conflict of interest here, as Donald Trump is calling for this case to be dismissed, as of course people here are politically aligned against him. And that's the post that the judge is now threatening Donald Trump that he will go to jail after he made on Truth Social. He decided to take a screenshot of this particular message, sent it out to his entire email base, and then shortly afterwards deleted it from Truth Social, making, of course, images of this message go viral at the same time, which is kind of, let's be honest here, a kind of pretty epic troll move, as, of course, he followed the orders of the judge here. The judge can't throw him in jail, and then the message still gets out there to the general public. As the former president of the United States is still going out and calling the Attorney General of New York a racist and a monster, as of course it's fair to say what is happening here is clearly very political and has nothing to do with the rule of law, which is being twisted and bended against the former president of the United States, in my personal opinion, who is facing an uphill battle with the establishment going up against him, even potentially, according to some polls, having individuals like RFK Jr. take away votes from him, as he is shown to have more of a favorable view by the Republicans than Democrats. Now, personally, we discussed this last night on the Timcast IRL podcast, and we discussed many different hypotheses with Laura Trump. I'm going to be posting about that on Twitter in the making of this video, which you could watch the full, very interesting conversations about. This, as of course, another opportunity has opened up for the former president of the United States, and that is a potential nomination for him to become the next Speaker of the House, as of course, the current Speaker of the House was just ousted by U.S. Congressmember Matt Gaetz, and now a Texas Republican is moving forward, as Troy Nehls came out and announced late Tuesday that he is filing paperwork officially to nominate the former president of the United States to become the next Speaker of the House, which would be incredible, as of course the next Speaker of the House doesn't need to be a member of Congress. It could be anybody, as a lot of people are wondering who's going to be this person. Is it going to be Donald Trump? And he actually said he would do it. Yes, you heard that correctly. In a statement made outside of the New York City courthouse, this is what the former president of the United States just said.
Would you be Speaker, Mr. President?
A lot of people have been calling me about Speaker. All I can say is we'll do whatever's best for the country and for the Republican Party.
Would you take a job?
Great people. Would you take a job? We have some great people.
Would you take a job?
A lot of people have asked me about it. I'm focused. You know, we're leading. I don't know you. I'm sure you don't read too much in the papers, but we're leading by like 50 points for president. You know, my focus is totally on that. If I can help them during the process, I would do it. But we have some great people in the Republican Party that could do a great job as Speaker.
He literally said, quote, "I'll do it." As of course, it's also important to note here that the former president of the United States stood behind the former Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, against Matt Gaetz in the many instances that the two have rivaled up against each other. This, as many Republican rhinos right now are calling for the expulsion of Matt Gaetz for Congress as he's being accused by Newt Gingrich, a member of the Bohemian Grove, of being, quote, anti-Republican, as his behavior is being slammed as, quote, childish. And I would absolutely disagree with this man connected to many secret societies here, as, of course, what Matt Gaetz is doing, in my opinion, is representing a disenfranchised people of this country that are sick of politics as usual, as, of course, Congress does not represent the wishes of the American people. It represents the wishes of the special interests that pull its strings. And this is why when we're seeing CNN even backing the former Speaker of the House here, we have to understand that's what's happening in the House of Representatives is a larger representative movement of the establishment versus the anti-establishment. McCarthy represents the establishment. Matt Gaetz represents the anti-establishment. As, of course, CNN is running with gaslighting headlines and articles like this titled, quote, McCarthy became the latest victim of Trump's extreme GOP revolution. And that to me is just an unhinged, crazy, delusional version of events. As, of course, Donald Trump stood behind McCarthy twice. Again, the first time before McCarthy even became Speaker of the House. During the battle that took place to get him to Speaker of the House, Trump backed him. Trump is still currently sending out messages saying, hey, Republicans, stop fighting each other, go fight the Democrats. And to have this kind of alienated, insane take only highlights the absurdity of the establishment that is losing its grip of control here domestically with American politics. How far will they lose it? Well, let me know down in the comment section below. I got one more video coming your way on LukeUnfiltered.com. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys actively watching and supporting this independent media broadcast. That's why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.